Hello, good evening everyone. I'm here again to record a video about another lecture. Okay, in the previous video, I did discuss about the regulation of the cell cycle. We also had a summary of the stages of the cell cycle and what is the role of the apoptosis in the life of an organism, and why is it always important to check the stop and check go signal about the cell cycle. Okay, that is the content of my previous videos. So this time I will be discussing about the what will happen if the cell will continue to divide even if it is defective. Okay, so I will start presenting my PowerPoint now. This PowerPoint is posted in the Moodle, so feel free to check it, and is supported with the video that I'm recording now. Okay, so for the objective of today's lecture, okay, so here first objective is we are going to identify what could be the disorders if the cell will not undergo apoptosis even if it is defective. What could be, what is carcinogenesis? Do we have any idea what is it about and how it develops? Okay, so first question. I did park this question in my previous presentation. I did ask what could happen to the cell if apoptosis will not take place to the damaged cell. Kung sa ganito ang apoptosis, if you can still remember, apoptosis is programmed cell death, also known as PCD. Okay, when you hear PCD, it's programmed cell death, also known as apoptosis. Allow me to give you the overview of the apoptosis. Again, normal cell. No? If this is a normal cell, it will divide in if there is a damage or injured. And then in the normal cell, it will replicate the DNA before dividing. If the event nga the DNA is copied incorrectly, then it will make an initiation to repair itself. But not all the time it can repair itself. So there could be mutations that will happen. If that will still continue, if the cell will still continue, then it will give a signal to apoptosis, meaning it will tell the cell nga, go do the cell suicide, because it is dangerous for the cell to continue even if it is to continue to divide, to continue to grow, no, even if it is defective. But there are times again that it will not follow the direction. So there will be a tumor that will happen. And the tumor can either be benign or malignant. Okay, I will expound that could be the difference between these two. Okay, let's proceed. So we will be talking about today what is cancer, because that is when we hear cancer, we know that we are familiar about cancer, but do we really understand what is cancer? Because when we are talking about cancer, the simple definition about cancer is that it is uncontrolled cell division, meaning when our cells divide uncontrollably, or even it will continue to divide even if the damage it has or it contains a damaged DNA, it will still continue to divide. So that is dangerous. Okay, so now you can see here that the cancer cells, we will be talking about cancer, carcinogenesis. Okay, so when we say cancer, it's uncontrolled cell division, and it will continue to grow, though it will start in the formation of tumor. Okay, why is cancer so common? Because there are so many causes. First and foremost, we know that cigarette is very common, especially among men, even in women. No? So that is one of the first causes of cancer. Next is the others na. which is excess weight and obesity, diet, lack of exercise, occupation, viruses, genetics, alcohol, radiation. Okay, so those are the causes, identified causes of cancer. Okay, so when we talk, let's start about cancer. You can see in the diagram, these are sample photos of tumors in liver and colon. It all starts with the division and controlled division of the cells. No, it will still continue to divide. So here, I will be talking what is tumor first, no? Because that is where it all starts. When we say tumor, it is an abnormal growth of body tissue. Okay, so it can either be solid or fluid filled. So na tumor nga inigikap ni mugahi, nasa kuan nga murag tubig ang sulod, no? Tumor is not kanang makuyawan nata because there are two types of tumor. Okay? So kanang when we say tumor, dili ta angay mahadlok that we have to find out if it's cancerous or not. Okay? So, as what I have mentioned, there are two types of tumor. When we say there is when we say benign, no, benign tumor is not it's not dangerous. Why? Because it does not spread. It will stay on its place. It will not go to other parts of your body. Okay, it rarely a threat to life. It will only be a threat to life like when it's growing inside your body and it's getting bigger and it will suppress the other organ of your body. When we say malignant tumor, it will invade the other organs and it has the capacity to spread, meaning it will escape. It will go to other organ. If it starts in this place, example in the intestine, it will go somewhere else. Okay, so that is the malignant. It is life-threatening. Okay, how do you determine if it's a benign or malignant? Of course, moingon si doctor nga, oh, let's have a biopsy. When we say biopsy, it will get sample tissue of the tumor, meaning kwaon na siya injectionan, kwaog sample tissue, and then the tissue will be analyzed in the laboratory to determine if it's benign or malignant. Okay? Now, what you have seen in this picture is a woman with multiple benign tumor. So actually, her life is not in danger, but it's not pleasing to the eyes, right? Kanang lain kay tan-aon, kay daghan kay butoy-butoy ang iyang body, no? So this is actually multiple benign tumors. This can be corrected surgically, okay? So let's go to, that's it for benign. Now let's go to malignant, okay? When we say malignant, meaning bad, it's bad, no? It's why is it bad? Because this is a threat to your health, to your life, because it has the capacity to break away, meaning dagan siya to make another secondary tumor. So mulakaw siya from the original site and escape to make another tumor. Okay, so we are now in malignant, then that tumor is cancerous. So how it develops? How does it develop? First, you can see in the diagram, letter A, there is a primary tumor. Dito nagsugod. So example, it starts in the where? In the blood vessels, no? Or in the muscles. There is a cyst na ay murag ni tubo, nalingin, and the man can feel it. And then it will, then later on, there in the letter B, you can see angiogenesis. Once ng angiogenesis, you can see that ang tumor, ang cell nga fast dividing, has been supplied by blood vessels, kaning mga puwa, no? Capillaries. This is dangerous. Why? Because naanay food nga niadto sa cell, meaning it is now supplied with food. It is now supplied with blood. So it will grow more. Mas mutubo ang tumor. Okay? So now it will detach. The second stage is that it will go to your bloodstream, to the lymphatics. It will have murag musakay na siya mamobile na siya ba. Okay, can it break out naman siya? And then it will go to your circulation. So once nakasakay na siya sa blood vessels class, it is dangerous. Why? Because it can go anywhere to any part of the body. Okay, it will be transported. So it will just wait kung asa siya maka-anchor nga na organ. Okay, asa siya mupilit na sad balik kay mulutaw naman yung mga cancer cells, no, in the bloodstream. And then it will be transported in the circulatory system, and it will stop in an organ, any organ nga iyahang makapyutan, okay, maka-anchor. Okay, it can be in the lungs, it can be in the lymphatic. One of the reason nga mas common sa lungs in breast, no, or in the lymph, because these are very tiny. No, gagmay kanang huot kani sila nga mga agianan, kanang capillaries na nga gagmay na gyud kaayo. So that is why prone nga adto masangit, prone nga adto maka-anchor, no, ang mga cancer cells. And then once it adheres to the vessel wall, then that could be the secondary tumor. And then this will be mo invade na siya diha. And then it will grow. And then the second time, mo proliferate na sad siya. Mo angiogenesis na sad. Meaning, ma-supplyan na sad siya og blood supply. So once there is blood supply, it will grow again, no? And then it will escape metastasis, meaning it will escape, and in the secondary tumor will escape and go to the bloodstream again and will be circulated again in the body, and it will find again another site of anchorage. Okay, so remember, primary tumor, there will be happening angiogenesis, and then it will escape to the capillaries, and then it will find an organ where to attach itself, and then it will break again, it will do angiogenesis again, and then it will undergo metastasis. Okay? So, what is metastasis again? That is the stage where we break away into capillary wall. We will break again into the bloodstream to escape. So you can see here that here nag-grow pa siya, and then it breaks through. Okay, naka-break through na, and then it enters into the capillaries. Once it will enter the capillaries class, it's very dangerous. Why? Because it will escape, will be circulated to any part of the body. Okay, so it can travel to the blood, lymph system, and it will again form a new tumor. Okay, so I did mention already what is angiogenesis. That is the time you can see here that there is blood supply. So meaning, when there is blood supply, meaning there is available food, there is energy to spend, there is food to spend. So it will allow growth and development, meaning it will grow rapidly because there is oxygen supply, there is nutrients, and it will facilitate again metastasis. Okay, so that's it for the how it develops. Again, primary, angiogenesis, metastasis, then anchorage na, and then balik to proliferation, angiogenesis again. Okay, so what are the common cancer worldwide? Okay, this diagram is as of 2012, no, the data. So if we can siguro more or less the same regularly happen class. Why? Because among men, the very common, no? The number one common cancer among men is about lungs, bronchus, trachea, respiratory. No, nga naman siya, ma'am. Because most men, the lifestyle of men are smokers. It has been proven already that cigarette is one of the cause, no, of mutation in DNA. For women, it is breast cancer still, no, because why again? Breast is may kay mga ganan lymphatic, so probably it started somewhere else, but when it is in the metastasis, it dito siya maka-anchor. No, dito siya as it circulates in the body, it is in the lymph nodes of the breast. Dito siya masangit. Okay? So, for the treatments of cancer, there are plenty. Of course, screening. Early screening is the biggest factor in saving, because once it is being known early stage, then you have a big chance, no? Screening it now. And then the second would be surgery, because we know that it's a tissue that is growing, so it has to be removed right away so that it will it will stop dividing. Second would be radiation. Radiation is also systemic, meaning you'll be exposed to certain radiation to kill the fast dividing cell. Okay. When we say chemotherapy class, this is also systemic. Systemic meaning it will go circulated, the medicine will be circulated, or the chemical will be circulated into your body, meaning i-inject siya. Systemic, no? So ang target ani niya is iyahang patyon ang any fast dividing cell, di ba? Kaya ang cancer, uncontrolled cell division man siya. So ang iyahang i-target in chemotherapy is that iyahang patyon any fast dividing cell. Whether, so ang disadvantage is whether it is healthy or not. So that is why when cancer patients undergo chemotherapy, you can notice nga mag-hair fall, no? Mag-nausea. Kaya nga naman, ang skin ba nato is one of the cells that is fast dividing, no? And unsa pa, ang red blood cells, fast dividing. So some of it will be killed, no? Because they are fast dividing cells. So that is chemotherapy. And then one also, of course, this targeted drug therapy is actually one of the breakthrough in the treatment of cancer. Why? Because it is targeted naman. So meaning, dili maapil o patay ang dili defective because it is targeted. No? So naa sila receptors na ilahang identify already. So this is actually a very promising treatment in the future. Okay, what are the future other treatments? One of the constantly developing treatment in cancer is genetic engineering. Okay, because they are going to identify the code in the genes that are responsible for this type of cancer. Remember, each cancer is different from one another, huh? Though the cause is the same, which is uncontrolled cell division, but each type of cancer, because diba, we know that the name of the cancer is depending on what organ it affected, like lung cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, liver cancer. So that is why it is different, because it is composed of different types of cell, right? So that is why there is actually a constant evolving development in the cancer treatment. Okay. So I think that's it, no? That is so the basic understanding what could happen to the cell if it will continue to grow, even it has a damaged DNA. Class, remember that in cell cycle, specifically our mitosis, our body cells, when there is injury, we need to grow and develop. Always remember it will divide itself, but it has to be an exact copy of the parent cell, because if it's not, there is a big problem. So if it's not an exact copy, meaning the DNA that being copied is defective. So pataka la siya pangupya, nag-cheating. Yeah. Sayo pa jud ang iyang gikopya, no? So imagine na class, nasamad imong naong unya ang skin cells sa imong naong pataka lag pangupya og kanang DNA code. So ang nahimo ang panit sa imong lubot. So funny, right? But that is like logical explanation. So when you are copying something, it has to be exact. No, when the cell is copying something, it has to be exact. Para gwapa lang gihapon. Okay? So when we are talking about cell cycle, cell division, the bottom line of cell division in mitosis, it has to be exact copy, or else it will undergo apoptosis. First it will repair the damaged DNA. If it cannot repair itself, then it will tell the cell to go apoptosis. And if there is no impaired ang apoptosis, then it will develop into a tumor. And then the tumor can either be cancerous or not. When cancerous, we say malignant. When it's not, it's benign. Okay? So I want to park this presentation with the following essential questions. I want you to answer this among yourself, okay? Because again, I will ask this questions in our class interaction regarding this video, okay? So I hope this lecture will help you understand about carcinogenesis as a result of cell division continuation, even if the cell is defective. Okay, thank you and see you next time. Bye, class.